What's up, people? Welcome to the Health is Wealth podcast. Today's episode is all about how to avoid judgment in the gym. What's up, people? I'm your host, Jason Shively, and today we have Diontae Smith back for a second episode, and as usual, co-host Bobby Jackson in the house.
Bobby Jackson, Custom Fitness, and Diontae's here to break down a really cool concept for us. Last time we had him on, it was just talking about kind of his journey, of course, how he's influenced Jason and I both from our experience working side by side with him. But we had to bring him back, especially for today's topic, to get his point of view, which is how to avoid judgment in the gym. And especially for people who are either new to the gym or just getting back to the gym, we hear all the time how nervous people are when they just get back in, or they're just trying to learn the new equipment at a new gym or whatever the case might be to help get them acclimated as easy as possible, right?
Yep, and Diontae is the perfect guy to have on here because the guy doesn't judge anyone.
Other than his own friends like us. So,
yeah,
but that's all right.
We give him permission to do that.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. So what do we got for the first piece right here? So I know we got a lot of topics.
Let's talk about someone just coming into your programs. We all have different programs going on right now with the pandemic and stuff. Diontae, let's talk about what you're dealing with new clients right now. What's their concerns when they come into the gym?
Based on everything that's going on now, in real time, it's just education, guys. I think the biggest thing we have to do is kind of like stay educated ourselves, stay up to date with, how things are moving on in our society and how can we still cope while things are going on. So fitness is the biggest thing because everybody's, sitting at home, feeling lethargic sometimes because we're not being able to, get enough energy out. Sometimes people are feeling like they're gaining weight. Yada yada yada. So
yeah,
I know,
and that's the psychological part, right? Like especially if I actually am gaining some weight, it's like, man, I'm starting to notice that I'm stuck at home. I got all the
but what can you do?
Out of my usual routine, and it's like, man, you got to find a way to let that out.
Right. So everything's kind of like some things are closed, some things are opening, some things are opening and closing, and it comes down to what do you do next? How do you stay focused? How do you stay into a routine? And how do you how do you approach getting comfortable? For some people, they have more time on their hands now. This epidemic this pandemic has allowed us to have a little more time, fortunately and unfortunately. So with that being said, I've been trying to show people how to do in-home workouts, in-home exercise routines, from beginner to intermediate all the way to advanced level, where how to fit into the scope of getting back going on your fitness level.
Yeah, and it's finding just that way to keep moving, right? It's right. No matter what the style of exercise is, you got to find what's right for you. And the best thing is to just ask questions, right? When you're new to fitness or you're just getting back in, I'm not supposed to know what I don't know, right? Unless you're in the industry like we are, we don't expect you to know. So ask those questions. And Diontae is a perfect example of he's the professional. So he's either going to be able to refer you to a facility if you can't be working out with him personally, or even if you need to stay at home. That's the catch. It's that find that thing that you can still do, because the most effective type of training is the kind you're actually doing, right? It's that you actually have to do some sort of exercise. You can't just be, continuing to think I'm going to get back to the gym someday. If all you can do is work from home, ask the right questions as that beginner and get that right structure to it.
And there's what it is, asking the right questions. But the biggest concerns that a lot of us run into throughout our career and recently is the judgment that people have of their own body and what other people think of them when they're walking in. And we talked about this off camera, but it's most of the people that are already fit are getting judged way more with instant satisfaction. Just the small little hits of, hey, that person's really in shape, so I shouldn't go up to them and ask questions. And then as professionals, we want those new people that are scared to death of the unknown for them in the fitness is to ask questions. And that's one of the things that they don't do enough. And we want you to.
I've got a twist on that same one the moral of the story is still ask the questions. But what I also see is that beginner at the big box gym, they're looking at somebody who's obviously been exercising for a long time because they look great, but maybe it's actually because they're using a bunch of crazy substances to look right, and they're even doing exercises wrong, right? Or maybe they're battling injuries from doing things incorrectly because they didn't ask the questions. But now if you have that new person looking at somebody who they think looks better than them, they just want to start doing what that person did, thinking they're going to look the same way. And it's, nope, that's still an example of, okay, we're not going to judge that person who, maybe blew the knee out or the back out to get to where they're at. Okay, we're not judging them for what they're doing, and hopefully they're more healthy now. But as the beginner, don't just assume they're doing it the best way. Still come talk to the person like one of us who's actually in the industry. We've all had our trial and errors, right? That's just, we're right along with everybody else. We had that first day in the gym moment. We ended up just transferring that into, our professions now. So it's that no matter what end of the spectrum it is, still ask the questions. There's no, it sounds corny, but there's no stupid questions, especially when you're in a gym with unfamiliar equipment.
And it's something like we spoke on earlier, even to this day, if I go to a gym and I see some brand new equipment that I'm not familiar with, even as a health enthusiast, a professional myself, if it's new and I want to learn how to use it to my best ability, I'm going to ask somebody there who works there, who have, knowledge of how that piece of equipment works, because the last thing you want to do is use some equipment and hurt yourself. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're getting the right functions in every exercise you do. And any facility that you walk into, I'm sure, any gym should have somebody on site who could show you not only how the machine works, what body part the machine works, and what it could do for you for benefits. And you're right, and there are other people. I know sometimes we see the, that buff guy or that ripped girl in the gym, and we feel intimidated to ask him or her, what is he or she doing to get the result? I always say, I'm a people's person, and I know sometimes people are, some could be introverts, some of us could be extrovert, but I always encourage people to go up and meet a new friend. It's nothing to me to walk up to a person and say, hey man, I like how you're doing that exercise, or, your biceps look a little, well, I want to get mine at, for some guys, for us, it could be a little,
Well, that's the thing. The judgment for me comes from when there's someone that looks better to me that's bigger, whether it's supplement based or not and stuff. It's the noises they're making that worry me. It's the guy going, ugh, ugh. I don't want to go to that guy.
Yeah, we don't need that guy. I don't need to get spit
I might
on
want his
him.
chest. I might want his chest or biceps. And then Bobby's, he has the best example of a female noise.
That's true.
When they're doing that,
sounds like me. I sound like a female tennis player when I'm exercising. Apparently,
Venus Williams out there.
But it's also but being comfortable to ask that person that maybe you verifiably they are doing the exercises right.
Right.
I think about it as if the day came where somebody asked me, "Oh man, you look great in those muscles. Okay, what did you do specifically for hitting those spots?" I wouldn't think they're stupid. I'd take that as a compliment and I'd help them out, right? So it's like, no, the person's not going to judge you. They're actually going to take that as a genuine compliment.
Yeah.
Maybe they're too busy and they're in the zone, so they might say, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me, catch up with you later on."
I've never heard that happen now.
Yeah.
But 99 times out of 100, they're going to take it as a compliment and they're going to give you that suggestion. And it's like, man, okay, you gave a win-win, right? Because you complimented them at the end of the day and you got the knowledge from them, and that's what we're kind of going for.
It.
Yeah, we rewind it to how we learned it before we even started making this as a career. How did we learn off each other? We just bounced these shit off of each other. We played basketball together, we wrestled together, we played football together, we played baseball together, all the sports. We just worked out together and we learned off each other. Yeah. Now, someone was more athletic and was able to dunk a basketball or hit a baseball or throw a ball farther and stuff. So we just started copying what they were doing really well. Right. And that's how we learned. That's how we all started, was copying, and there was no judgment at that point when we were learning. And that's the frustration with our clients is they're so worried about judgment when all we did before we started this and got more education and learned more was copy each other. And there was no judgment. Now people that we're trying to help are so insecure and worried about their judgment and what people are going to think of them, which really nobody's looking at them. It's the people that are already super in shape and going way beyond what anyone else is doing around them that stand out.
Right.
That circles back to an episode we released just a few weeks ago titled Nobody Cares. So if you guys are listening to this one and haven't heard that one yet, circle back to it. Really good episode, in my opinion, of course, because it was my idea. But the idea being, things that I think other people might judge me for, at the end of the day, usually nobody actually cares, right? It's only a big deal in my head because it's an ego situation. It's that, oh man, it's going to show them that I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
But that's okay, because nobody cares, right? That's only a big deal to me, and I built it up into some huge thing that I think is going to be an actual issue, which it's not, right? We have an opportunity to learn, and you only get that by asking the right questions.
And I've seen too in my experience that certain people feel comfortable in certain environments. The gym environment, for some people that's like the pros. You know what I mean? It's like when you get there, like you say, the ego makes you feel that you should already be put together, and you walking in there, whether you feel like your gear is tight or you're doing the right routine with the right workouts, and sometimes that can come with a lot of pressure depending on what type of gym you're going to or what type of environment it is. Whereas some people are doing group fitness where everybody's kind of on the same level. Zumba is a good example for that. I've seen a lot of people, Zumba, people have always said, hey, you should try some Zumba. I'm like, I don't know how to dance like Zumba. But
you do have the Zumba energy, right? I love those classes because, man, everybody seems to just be having a blast. It's like that's the part of it. Everybody's having fun.
Right, and that's the thing. Nobody's judging each other in those classes because I don't think the instructor or the people expect you to be, the next Ricky Martin out there. They expect you just to move, have fun, and burn those calories to what you came to do. So, sometimes a group environment is a good environment to start out and when you want to kind of like learn some things, because within those, whether you're doing a boot camp or you're doing Zumba, whatever the case is, as those weeks go by, you can learn your way around the gym, learn the different movements. If they're calling out certain weights and stuff of that nature, it can make you a little more confident to go in there and do some homework by yourself. But you know what?
Perfect.
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
No. I'm sorry. I was just going to jump on what you're saying, and to our next thing that we have on our list of things to talk about was go with the flow. And not say you're the perfect person. You've always gone with the flow. On the last episode you're just talking about if your body feels like being outdoors and being outdoor activities and stuff, then do it. Me and Bobby have had many episodes where we talk about and I talk about training in seasons. Like if you can't get inside, then go outside. Just go with the flow of things. There's no judgment. Don't leave your ego at the door and just do what you can. And both of you are good examples of how you guys train people and how you train yourselves. Like, okay, I'm not in that mode right now. Let's just go with the flow and try this out for a while.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that took a lot of coaching too, and being inspired by people like you guys, which was that, okay, man, I feel like I'm kind of getting burnt out with this style of exercise. The only thing I can't do is just completely stop moving. Right? That's the only unacceptable thing is just, okay, well, I don't feel like it, so I'm just not going to do anything. It's okay, no, I got to find something. I got to use a different type of exercising, activity, movement pattern, sport, something to shake it up, which ironically happens in my nutrition pretty frequently too. But it's that, okay, sometimes you just got to shake it up. Do something totally different. And then get back to it, right? Get back into the rhythm, and you end up kind of getting it going again.
Yeah, keeping that motivation and passion going. I totally agree.
Yeah, and the next thing that's important for all of us, that there should be no judgment, but there's a lot these days, is what we wear in the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, Diontae, you're the best dressed of all of us. That's not hard to beat. Bobby mentioned that before.
But he does a very good job.
But he does a very good job.
Don't judge that based on how badly we dress.
There's a reason why the guy's in freaking music videos and fitness and restaurant videos and all that stuff, because he's got a style to him that's no other, that everyone wants to be like.
But for those new listeners, not to cut you off right there, but that idea being, don't feel like you have to over accessorize for that gym. Don't think you gotta buy the brand new weightlifting shoes and all the gloves and the sweatbands and color matched and Bose headset and think you gotta look like you're a pro athlete walking in before a game. Don't keep it simple at the beginning.
It's not a team sport. You don't have to look like everyone else to get the results in the gym.
And you want to be comfortable, being comfortable, you can still have fun with it. Like, I like bright colors, I like soft material, especially being, in that gym environment. Sometimes when you're pushing those weights and you're doing those routines, it seems like everything can feel like it's holding you back. So, but for some people, like my brother Andrew likes to wear, big sweaters, and he likes to,
whatever Andrew's wearing, I got to start wearing that too, because that dude is strong as an ox.
Shout out to Sosa.
Yeah, man, I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, but everybody has their different attires, and ultimately it comes down to what makes you comfortable. And mood wise as well. Like I say, I like bright colors because those bright colors keep me energetic when I'm listening to my music, and that's your time, that's your personal space. That's why ultimately you shouldn't feel judged, and you shouldn't feel like judging anyone. That's for every individual in there, we're sharing the space, but that's our personal time to be ourselves. And I know I talk from a level of passion of being a fitness enthusiast, but I really try to get lost in that time to really, like I say, treat yourself instead of cheat yourself in that moment.
Awesome,
you know what
man.
I mean?
Yeah.
No, yeah. And
Bobby
Bobby needs to cheat himself a little bit and put a little bit tighter clothes on for once.
Show those curves.
Show off the curves.
I got to tie it in, but that does draw that connection between the mind-body connection, right? That's the best, man. It's whether it's music. I know I'm super musically motivated.
Oh yeah.
Depending on the style of training or exercise I'm doing, I'm listening to different genres of music. I noticed.
But is anyone judging you for that?
No, nobody cares.
Exactly.
Because the output of my exercise is still pretty good. So those are things on, especially if I got my little headset on, nobody else has to listen to it. So it's like, find those things that's going to let you be as comfortable as possible. And those are the things that takes care of that beginner anxiety and the beginner nervousness. So one good investment is get the headphones on. Make yourself be in a better mood by listening to your favorite music. Diontae put it perfectly. It's your time. Just be worried about what's going to make you feel better and get some progress made. That should be the only priority you have when you're in the gym.
That's right.
Yeah, and if all three of us are in the gym at the same time, we all have different genres of music on playing, but we're all having really good workouts. Where's the judgment on that?
We're all getting it in.
Yeah, someone might judge that we're doing a movement wrong or something like that. And at the end of the day, even as a trainer, I don't care because I'm in the zone. I'm having a good workout for myself. And at the end of the day, if my health is improving, I'm still winning. And those new clients need to take that approach. And it's hard. It can be hard. I deal with that a lot. It's hard as a fitness professional and people that stay fit pretty often and enjoy exercise to get over that judgment. Like, okay, someone's going to look at me now that I don't have the right outfit in. I'm like, no, honestly, if they are, I don't know because they're not worth my time to even know. If they're judging someone that's actually trying to improve their health, because that's how we always connect, and that's why we stay connected so long, because we have the same goals in mind. And when you come in as a new customer into one of these guys' private studios or the commercial gym that I work at there is no judgment. We're happy that you're there making the right step, putting the first foot forward and doing that. And that goes into the client's concerns today. And there's concerns over wearing a mask while we work out. We all have our opinions on it. Number one priority for all three of us in our facilities is safety, then fitness. That's just the way things got to be right now. And but there's a lot of concerns right now going into this back end of the pandemic of what the real concerns are with the clients.
Yeah. It's, there's always the injury prevention component that we have to deal with as the fitness professionals. But now having this other safety component, and it's making sure people are staying comfortable, that we're doing what we need to do. And that should really be the inspiration to all of us need to take responsibility for our effect on other people, right? That's that. If I'm working out at that big box gym, I got to be even more attentive to the basic gym etiquette, which again, shouting out to another one of our old episodes, gym etiquette, great one for the basics on what we should be following to just be a better person to be around, right? It's going to be easier to make cool friends at the gym when we follow those basic etiquette rules, which is mind my own business as far as cleaning up the equipment, wearing appropriate attire, not being obnoxious. Don't be listening to music on my phone in my pocket really loud. Listen to it in a pair of headphones, right? Don't be blasting that stuff across the room. And it's just being aware of my effect on other people and trying to work as a team, really. We're all in there together.
And you said it. We're all in it together. That's the slogan for 2020 right now. With everything going on, we have to be able to, like you said, work as a team. We're all in it together as far as being safe, trying to stay healthy and things of that nature. So you can't sum it up any better than that, man. You got to just think for each other. It doesn't take 2 seconds.
But Diontae, you got your hand in a little bit of everything with a bunch of different clients right now through all this and stuff, and their concerns. Some want that one-on-one connection. Some are doing your online coaching as well
Yes.
and stuff. But you don't have a judgment towards anyone that's doing that. You're doing the right protocol on safety, social distancing, if they choose to have that one-on-one service with you. And then as well as your online programming and your nutrition program that you're coming out with too, there's no judgment on you of which one they choose from, as long as they're getting better results.
As long as they're getting better results and they're putting in the hard work and dedication. Like I've had some concerns where people feel as if they won't get the same result from online training as they get from, one-on-one, as far as me being there to really, put my, I don't want to say really give it to them and attack them, but it's the same thing. It comes down to how bad you want it, how bad you want to accomplish your goal, because we know, not to sound cliche, your fitness results is almost 80% of how you're going to eat, and then the other 20% is based on the different exercises you could do to help with your caloric deficit, whether it's to gain muscle, whether it's to lose weight. We're here to coach you into the right way to do it based on your individual goals and where you are currently. When I'm training outside right now, based on everything that's going on, we definitely, I'm taking every protocol that, whether it's the CDC or just our local state government protocols that, that's required as we continue to do this. But, like you said, especially being in the gym industry, I have to say that, based on a lot of requirements or a lot of suggested requirements that we're going through the pandemic, being in the gym, as long as we've been in it, you kind of already accustomed to it. Washing the hands, being at a safe distance, making sure that things are wiped down, the court, a lot of these things are already embedded in us, making sure that you're tying up some loose ends. If there's new information going on, it's always good to add to your reference. But for the most part, I think that, a lot of the principles and values that we learn by being good trainers and keeping people healthy and safe as we've been doing it definitely has come into fruition in these times that we're in here right now. So.
Yeah, exactly. It's those fundamental things that we should have all been really practicing at the beginning,
right?
That are now really coming up and being the most valuable now too. Of course, the addition of the masks, that's been kind of an uncomfortable transition for people.
That's a new one.
Some people are kind of probably using that as an excuse to maybe not get back into the gym or not start the gym right now because I don't think I'd work out very well with the mask on. But that's because you think you're supposed to do the same amount of work now with a mask on as you would without a mask.
For sure.
That's just a new element that we're all fighting. And even if you don't get as much work in the same hour, that's fine, because the only unacceptable thing is to just keep your butt on the couch and not exercise at all.
Oh, for sure.
If we're just getting to the gym, we're hitting that walk on the treadmill, couple trips to the drinking fountain, and then we're hitting the showers, who cares? Because that's still way better than doing nothing, right? Yeah. So you gotta go. You gotta get in there, and at the end of the day, the moral of the story is always just keep moving.
Yeah,
right?
and as we wrap this up, I'm just gonna put a little fire pit under there. These guys do an awesome job at their facilities, so there's not a lot of judgment from me on there. But in the commercial gyms, this should be the reset for a lot of new gyms, commercial gyms, or if you're open to a gym, is yes, as a customer coming into your facility, you should judge me on the safety, because that client is the number one priority. Their safety is number one, as we said before, and then their exercise. And Bobby just hit it. A good point was, the workouts are going to change with mask on, but we'll make those adjustments. There's no judgment in there. And then we will fine tune the things that we can, that we don't have to have mask on, like our nutrition, our rest, our herbs that we're getting in with Diontae and stuff, the supplement lines that he's promoting and stuff like that. And just the simple things. Let's simple down. Me and Bobby have talked about this numerous times about keeping things simple. And then there's no judgment when you come in the doors.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yep. Not forgetting some of those things that you guys might be getting stressed out about aren't actually a problem. A lot of times things I'm worried about, nobody else even notices. It's the same thing with driving in your car down the highway. You feel like everybody's looking at you. No, nobody's looking. Nobody's worried. So guys, get back to that gym. Get in the gym. Even if you're a first time, gym goer, it's still a great time to get in there, even with the mask on. Just keep moving. Don't worry about what other people are thinking, because they're probably not thinking about you anyway. Keep kicking butt. Stay at it. That's the most important part, and keep making progress.
Remember, we love you, people.